This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield and his better half, Marnie Winfield.
Check.
Check. Check
Check a microphone.
a microphone.
April 17th, 2021. My name's Corey Winfield.
This is Marnie Winfield.
And this is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Thank you for listening. We talk about stuff in recovery. Talk about our daily lives. Not sex stuff, though. No, we don't do that. No, we talk about movies sometimes and my cat and just recovery in general sometimes, too. Most of the time, sometimes. Most of the time, sometimes we're talking about recovery. So take that as you will. In the studio tonight with me, of course, Marnie and our cat, Nico. Mm-hmm. She's making her presence felt right now. Not in the litter box, but she's hanging out. Today was an interesting day for myself. But before we get into that, how was your day, Marnie?
My day was all right. It was okay. I had to do some work stuff, and I can backtrack to yesterday. Can I do that? Because today was not that great.
Okay, let's go back to yesterday.
Okay. I got to spend time with my mom.
Aww.
Who I hate. I haven't
You what?
seen.
I almost sounded like you said you hate.
No, I said who I haven't been able to spend much time with lately. Just because I've been so busy working and stuff. So it was cool, and exciting stuff is we drove out to Leelanau Coffee Company.
Oh, coffee.
And we are making headway on developing a relationship with them. And them, I don't know if they're going to create a blend or what. We haven't gotten down to the nitty gritty yet, but it's moving along. So we're going to have 217 coffee, and they're going to help us. I don't know. They're going to roast the beans and bag it and put a sticker on it. And she said they can come up with the logo or the picture, or we could. And then it's ours.
Oh, sweet. And the backstory to this month, I don't know, it feels like 18 years ago.
It's forever ago.
Was going to make some coffee. And it started with the Kalamazoo Coffee Company. I was like, man, I could reach out to them and they could sell the bags and give us $1 for every one they sell. We'll call it recovery coffee or in the basement coffee or whatever, just like as referring to a meeting, going to an AA meeting or something like that. And then I reached out to them. They're like, yeah, okay, we're busy. Holler back, So I hollered back at them and they didn't holler back at me. So I thought, why don't we just do this ourselves? Let's just reach out. So I reached out to this coffee company in Seattle. They sent us 5 different bean types, and the coffee was just meh. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, wow. Like, it wasn't like, man, that's delicious coffee. I want some more.
Yeah.
So we kind of felt like, well, we don't really want to spend the time, the effort to do this to give somebody something that's just meh. So we said no. And then we kind of started looking at other options, and that's kind of where we've been at lately, just kind of filling our way around. And, of course, I think I delegated that to you maybe.
Yeah, and my mom, actually.
Yeah. And I moved on to hats. But the coffee, though, that would be great, Leelanau. And if they would do the kind of like I was reaching out to Kalamazoo Coffee, I don't know what's going to be best for us. And I'm sure they would give us bags or let us purchase bags at a special price that if we went to, say, a Tom's or to the great store of Meijer and said, hey, can we set up a table and, do a podcast from here? And if people come up, can we, sell this coffee that you should be selling in your store anyway? Because they sell Leelanau coffee. So,
yeah.
Just like, hey, we're going to sell it here for, donations and stuff, and we appreciate it if you let us do that. And maybe they say no coffee, but you can sell your awesome badass shirts or your cool ass hats. Maybe they'd say that. Who knows? But yeah, if it would be like on a store shelf somewhere, an all Meijer or all Tom's, that'd be very cool. Or like $1 would go to us or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping we can figure out. But the person I talked to was very receptive in terms of the fact that she said that, yeah, we do that for sure. you know, she gave
But-
me the names of people to contact.
But do they do it on that level though? Would they create a whole brand just for?
I mean,
us
it's
and people
such
in
a
recovery?
it's such a small operation, which is, I think, is the good move for us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's out of like Glen Arbor, which is like teeny tiny,
But beautiful.
but absolutely, it's beautiful. It's super expensive there, but no, it's just like we'll drive there. We'll drive there.
Okay.
It's a nice drive, and what I don't know. I didn't ask you because I didn't have a chance to talk to you after you had your first sip that I made this morning of the one kind that we started with.
Yeah, it was good.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you put so much creamer in it, it's hard to. It's just sugar, so of course I like it. It tastes like ice cream.
I know. I do that. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't. It tastes better than another brand with creamer in it. I don't know. I could taste the coffee. Like, it was good. So I did a 10-cup pot because that's what she said out of that little sample bag.
Okay.
So we'll just do the same for the other 3 that we got and narrow it down. And yeah. So
And the other company that we tried out, that we got those 5 sample bags, we were all excited about it, and they were just weak almost. And
Yeah.
I told the guy that, he's like, "Oh well, put more beans in there." You know, I'm like, let me try that and distill. It was just meh.
no,
Just wasn't good. And-
This stuff is for real.
Yeah, like that. It was good. You know, like through the sugar creamer.
Well, we
was
can
still
just,
good.
from now on, you can just try some.
I needed
just
black. Like
Yeah.
I like my men.
No,
Huh?
I'm just saying we should just try it just for flavor.
Man,
We should, and that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, when you start thinking of new ways and different things that we can do to just, it's fun being creative like that and thinking outside the box and then thinking, what would we call it? What would the bag look like? Would it just be recovery coffee? Would it be like meeting coffee? I don't know. If you got something you think we should call our coffee, send us an email.
Yeah.
You know, Corey at 217recovery, Marnie at 217recovery.com. Mine's .com as well. Shoot us an email. That's very easy to get a hold of us. So let us know if you have a suggestion. Maybe we'll throw a shirt your way if we use it or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe our new nifty hats. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yesterday was cool. We got to hang out with your mom.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but, and she got her early birthday gift.
Yeah.
I said, isn't he the best gift giver ever? And she goes, he is. And she was all excited about this because Corey tends to give gifts that like people need. Like he wants to like think, like dig deep into their soul and be like, what do they really need? Not what do they want? What would be nice? It's what do they need?
Yeah. And 90% of the time, they don't even know they need it.
I know, and that's why it's a good gift. But he was at my mom's making dinner the other night, and he made the potatoes, and her potato masher, like the handle just came right off.
Yeah, it was.
And he was like, ding, idea.
So not just replace it with another cheap one. I get her a badass one.
Yeah.
You know, she's excited. It does avocados as well.
Yeah.
So.
It's like oval shaped so you can actually scoop out the avocado. Yeah. Pretty ingenious or something. So, like, why didn't that was thought of before? I don't know. I want to shake the man's hand and come up with that potato masher.
Or the woman.
Or woman,
Yeah.
rather.
It's probably a woman.
Probably was. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so it was a good time. I mean, it's always good to spend, healthy time with healthy people. And even if you're just doing just stuff like that, it doesn't have to be a super big event. Just appreciating that I can actually be present, in the times that I'm with her. And I wasn't before.
It's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, that's awesome for her. She needs to come on the podcast. She needs to, first of all, listen to the podcast every once in a while.
She's nervous. She's all nervous about it. I don't know.
Tell her if she doesn't do it, I'm going to pay somebody to fake like they're her and make up all this crazy stuff.
She would just laugh at you and be like, "Why would you do that?"
I want you to listen.
No, I bet
Saturday.
you once she just got over the whole initial, fear, then she would be great.
And she could just do it with you. Like, you guys could just do it. Like, I don't have to be a part of it.
That's not what she's nervous about.
Oh.
You don't intimidate people.
I know. I know.
Just kidding. Maybe you do.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so
Good deal.
I wanted to talk about that fun stuff because today was not that fun.
Well, today for me was... I don't know if that's a feeling. Like, if I had to do a check-in right now, that would at least this morning, a friend decided to come back, and I'm just kind of like, all right, man, that's cool that you're here, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes you got to do things on your own, and yes, and sometimes people do need help, but there's a balance there, and for my personal life, I like it just like it is. I like living with my wife and my cat, and I have a routine, and lately I've been very busy with rides and homework, and just life. I mean, it's crazy, which is good. But I don't need someone else's emergency making an emergency for me. And I don't remember who told me that, but somebody told me that a long time ago. Like, just because someone else is coming up, oh my God, okay, cool. Like, I try my best not to feed into that, not to, okay, where's the fire? Like, just calm down, man. Like, you're having a problem, sure. But that just because it's your problem doesn't mean it's mine.
Right.
Does that make any sense? Am I doing a good job of...
No, completely.
So, like, yeah, the person was, like, a little stressed out, but at the same time, I'm not going to get stressed out about it.
Right.
So, I had to deal with that. I had to take a deep breath, and I prayed. As I'm driving a woman home from treatment, she's probably like, this guy is nuts. What's he praying about? Is something bad going to happen? I don't know. She wasn't thinking that, but I prayed, and then I just kind of dealt with the situation the best way I could, and the only way I could really handle it at that moment. So,
I wrote a blog about this.
Did you? You should publish it every once in a while.
I should publish it. I know. We publish more. But remember I called it other people's issues?
Yes.
I was talking about, like, if you are so worried about absorbing other people's concerns and problems and chaos that you lose track of, you and what you need to be focusing on. And it's not healthy.
It's not.
Like you said, it's a balance. It's one thing to, like, lend a hand, to offer people help when they need it. But it's another when, like, what's good for you, and you need to make sure it stays that way because you need to be number one. It's a selfish program. We've established that, And
I just want to say, too, real quick, thanks to everybody who's donated to 217 Recovery, because your donation has actually made it possible for this person not to be sleeping on the street right now.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Without you, we couldn't have helped this person. So, again, helping a person in early recovery kind of stay on his feet. Mm-hmm. So, thank you. But yeah, the issues of other people can take you over if you're not careful. But it's a balance, because you don't want to be heartless, but at the same time you want to protect your own. And like you said, number one, you got to look out for number one.
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's about number one, and help as you can, or in ways that you can. Sometimes it's lending a hand physically. Sometimes it's financial support. I mean, sometimes it's emotional. We do that a lot.
Yeah.
So, different ways to help, but don't let it cramp your style, and I don't mean to say that in like a cocky way or anything.
Right.
Don't let it take your life over. If someone else's emergency necessarily isn't your emergency. So, be aware of that in the future. If you're in early recovery and people come at you with all kinds of crazy stuff, because they will.
Yeah.
Somebody from a meeting, somebody you met in treatment, whatever, somebody you just know on Facebook, a friend from school, who knows? Like, it could be anybody. And next thing you know, you're off and you're like, I'm stressing out. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
No bueno. No bueno. So, then I had to pick up our hats. We got 48 hats. And I think 12 of them are the old school round logo that was on their old hats, which is it's cool. Actually, the person that first looked at them was like, I want one of those. He picked up a gray hat with the blue logo. But anyway, you get to the store to pick up the hats from PGI Graphics in Petoskey. And first thing I notice is that's the wrong style hat. It's not the hats I told them to order. Mm-hmm. And you embroidered 48 of these.
Yeah.
She's like, are you sure? I just looked at her and I said,
Man.
of course it is. Of course I know. And then she like pulls out this thing because I had sent her a picture, and the picture actually had the sticker with what kind of hat it was on it. And she's like, well, and then she realized the sticker on the hats that we have doesn't match. And she's like, oh, well, is this the hat that, you know? I was like, yeah. She gave me a little tood. A little tood was given. I did my best not to give it back. I don't know what kind of day she was having. Mm-hmm. Her day didn't start off that well, apparently. She had to deal with me, first customer of the day. But yeah, they weren't the right hats. But the embroidery was fine. Mm-hmm. So that's a win. And she's like, so you don't want them then? And I said, no, we'll take them, and I'll take it up with the owner about how we're gonna make this right. You know, obviously, and she had told me she's not the person, you know, to talk to. So clearly, so I didn't really want to ruin the relationship. I mean, people make mistakes,
right?
You know, obviously,
that's 48 mistakes.
Maybe it wasn't his mistake. You know, maybe it was they were sent the wrong hats. Who knows? 48 hats in a bunch of different colors. I don't know if that kind of mistake would happen. But who knows? But a mistake was made, and I've made a couple mistakes in my life. So, you know, not a big deal, but I have trust in them to make it right. And just like they trusted me to pick up the hats and pay for them. So, they're not bad hats.
They're just not what we wanted.
No. Because I want top of the line stuff, you know, and these are just kind of like, not basic, but pretty damn close. I mean, they're good hats. They're new era hats or whatever, or flex fit.
Right.
But yeah, just.
So we're gonna work on fixing that somehow.
Disappointed, but these hats you can buy one $25. I mean, it's still a good hat. Mm-hmm. I got a white one with the gray/silver lettering. I think it looks pretty.
It does look good.
Pretty awesome.
It looks really good.
Goes well with my dimples and my blue eyes and my gap tooth. Maybe, I don't know. I have a gap tooth, I don't think. But so yeah, that was kind of frustrating today, and you know, just having 2.5 hours to drive home by myself to think about it, and I wanted to pick up the phone so bad and react to the situation. It's like when you're home for Christmas and you want to open that present and you want to open it now. Maybe that's a bad analogy, but I really want to pick up my phone and I wanted to be like, I can't believe this. But I didn't. Because the more times I react to situations, the more I make a fool out of myself.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. So.
Well, the one thing that's frustrating about this is because we've been waiting for so long for this order to come through. So, like, this whole time we've been backed up on a incorrect order.
And I asked them a couple weeks ago, or one, I don't remember how long. And it's not really PGI's fault for that part because, well, maybe, I don't know. I'm not blaming anybody, but reached out, and our man Herb, who used to work there, I miss him. I miss him bad. I'm not sure why he's not working there. He just chose. I don't know. Somebody chose for him, but he's not there anymore. Mm-hmm. They miss him bad. I mean, Herb was great to deal with, and you were getting everything that you wanted when you dealt with Herb. The owner, I don't know. He's just pulled in too many directions, and you know, just because you own a company doesn't mean you're good at taking orders and communicating. Mm-hmm. So with that aspect of it, it's like I tried reaching out to her, didn't get anything. Reached out to that guy, and then the emails just stopped. And then I sent another one and no reply. So that's when I was like, let's go to Florida. This company says they can do it. They couldn't even do the basic ass design that we had for the logo. So after a month of them going, oh, okay, here's another one. Oh, nope, here's another one. Finally, they said, we can't do it. Your logo, your Impact logo that just says 217 Recovery, nothing fancy on it, but that's just too much for us to deal with. Go somewhere else. So then the dude finally emails me back from PGI going, oh, I just now saw your email. I'm like, from 2 months ago? So I'm like, okay, maybe this is a sign. So here's what we're looking for, blah, blah, blah. And communication is not always the best with them, but I said, here's what we want, same exact hats. How much are they? And they're like, oh, the hats for us are like $11.83 or something a piece. I'm like, perfect. That sounds good. Let's roll it out. And even on the invoice, the hats now were like $9 something, before embroidery, and then what they charge us for them, and then they charge us to embroider. So it was a little bit more. But I mean, frustration. You're right. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I feel like this is just like a bitch session, and I don't want people to think this is what our podcast is normally about.
Right.
Just on Saturdays. Not even hitting the laugh track. But I don't know. You heard a song today you really liked, and you thought it was about addiction, and looks like it is.
Yeah. I heard it once before on the radio. I think it was like last week, and I think I like got in the car and it was halfway through. I was like, this is about addiction. Like, this is really, and I was starting to pay attention to the lyrics. There's not much to it, like you said. It's pretty redundant, but it's by Demi Lovato, right? From what I understand, I think that somebody said something like she's California sober or something, which means that she smokes pot and is supposed to be manages, or I don't know what. But I know she had a lot of issues in the past with addiction and overdoses and so on. So, anyhow, you should listen to it. It's called Dancing with the Devil by Demi Lovato. And it's a good song. It's like it's funny because you know how you listen to anything, music in general is great. They have music therapy. I mean, for goodness sake, it can be uplifting. It can change your mood depending on it, what you listen to. And I really like it when I hear music that I can relate to, even whether it be a love song or, a fun song, song about family, song about whatever. And it's kind of cool when you're like, they're singing this song for me. Or I know exactly what this, what they're talking about. So I had that feeling when I heard that song. And, you should listen to it. So it really kind of rings true.
It's awesome when I hear an artist that I like Ben Howard. He's a guy from, I don't know, England or Ireland or somewhere over there. And some of his songs are really good. His new album, not a big fan of. It just came out a couple weeks ago. Not a big fan. But his older stuff, I really like. There's a song called Black Flies. It's, some would call depressing, but it's just, I don't know, I like it. And then there's one called Further Away, where he's talking about the faces that you see on the way up are those on the way back down. It's like when you're on the way up, you're like, hey, life's going good, and the faces you see, well, those are the people on the way down, and sometimes you pass those people a few times in life, and sometimes they pass you, like life's kind of a roller coaster. But you hear songs, and he's got another one too, Keep Your Head Up, and then you start thinking like, is this dude in recovery? Some of the lyrics, and I want to say it's the Revolutionists, but it's probably the Revivalists, and I don't really remember. I always get it mixed up. But they have a few songs too. They have one called Catching Fireflies. And there's one more too. It's kind of similar to that one, but you're just like listening to the lyrics, and you're like, this dude's in recovery.
Yeah.
Like whoever wrote the song is in recovery for sure.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because it's like they're not really public about it, but when you write songs like that and you're in recovery and you're just like, haha, he's one of us.
Speaking our language.
Mm-hmm. It's one of us.
Yep, for sure.
That's cool. But Well, kind of done for the day, so I appreciate you coming to the studio to do the podcast tonight with me, Marnie. You look gorgeous as always.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tomorrow is Marnie's replay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sunday replay, Marnie's Sunday replay. So you will be replaying a podcast. One of your favorites. How do you pick those? Are they just your favorites, or just something that you learned, or something that you thought was cute, funny?
I'm not going to lie. Because here's the thing. My favorites might not necessarily be the world's favorites. And I know that, we don't really get a way to get much feedback on, I guess we do, on which podcasts we're listened to more or or shared or whatever. We don't have availability. And there's some that we'll do and I'm like, that was a total dud. Like
tonight.
Like tonight, kind of, it just depends. But sometimes, we'll have those shiny moments where I'm just like, wow, like I'm impressed myself. Mm-hmm. And, or good guests, that we have on that are really kind of what they say is, definitely on spot, with recovery and what we're about, what 217's about. And so I actually asked a couple people that I know that are in recovery community to listen to, that either have been listening or to start listening to a couple hit or miss podcasts and see which ones appealed to them that actually they could relate to in one way or another. So I got one lady who's making a list, and then I also got some input from one of our P1s, Shane. Nice. He sent a couple our way, so yeah. And then I'll have ones that I will go back and figure out, like I sent them to my mom for some reason, or I shared them with somebody who I'd been talking to, in the recovery community. And so, but there's some that I'm just like, I wish I didn't ever do that.
So I would pick the funny ones, like with Chris and...
No, we can still do that.
The Lost Goodbye letter is my favorite from the Chris days.
That was crazy. Yeah, your guys is... No, and I'm not saying... no, you guys are really entertaining. Mostly. Sometimes I'm just like, what are we... What? That's all I could say is like, what?
We were having fun in recovery. That's all. It was a good time.
I know. And it brought joy to you and to all the guys that did that. And, it's fun in recovery. So that's cool. But, yeah, no, we just tried to do this Sunday because we do have so many. And there's so many people that just started listening or, don't have the opportunity, obviously, to listen 4 times a week. So
yeah, So
that way, instead of just doing another run of the mill, we're kind of trying to bring out some of our highlights.
Yeah, slow it down a little bit. Still give you an episode and let you catch up on some of them. That's what Justin kind of
and renew your faith in the mundaneness and the silliness, and hear something that makes sense to you. But hopefully. So those are Sundays.
Yeah. Those are Sundays. So tune in tomorrow night. And I like the way you do that. That's a good way to do it. Kind of farm it out a little bit. A little delegation.
Yeah.
That's leadership.
I think it's fair.
It's management.
Yeah, exactly.
Delegate it out. And that way you get kind of a wider variety of opinions of, hey, this one. Because I noticed last week it was just me. Mm-hmm. Like it was an episode like where the intro says me and Chris. But it was just me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why did she pick this one? I'm just rambling for, I don't know. But somebody, I guess, whoever told you that was a good one, then they got something out of it. So hopefully you did too. And people do listen to those, like the little half-ass stats that we do get. Mm-hmm. Like we don't know how many people listen. Right. It gives us, like I said, half-ass stats and whatever, man. It is what it is. As long as my mom listens and as long as when people search for a recovery podcast, they can find one.
Yeah.
And they find us, hey, man, win.
Yeah. For sure.
That's how I look at it. But some of the stats, though, those ones are getting played a lot, the replay ones.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
See, I told you it was a good idea.
from people who log in through Facebook, through their phone, through some other crap, then and if they have this other thing turned on, then their number is counted. So
Don't downplay it.
I'm just saying that yes.
Does it matter?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, it's cool. Must be that cool ass logo. Who designed that? Who designed that logo?
You.
I did. And the new app, by the way, still not out. Another thing, I keep waiting for it. And I really hate the old app so much now. I hate it even more every time I go pull it up and it's not the new one. I'm like, oh, can we get this thing off there? Like, I should just reach out to them. Like, can you just take the app down?
No.
Because I'm ready for the new one.
I know
So
that.
Apple's
but
first. I have an Apple. Can't wait.
I know.
And the meetings
You
are
just
so
gotta be
easy.
patient.
We tested those out. Those will be rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
I guess if the new app's not ready on Monday, we'll publish the meeting on Facebook or something. But that kind of defeats the purpose of having the app.
I know.
I mean,
it does.
I want
I think
people
you
to have
should
the
wait.
app.
I think you can wait.
you get the app.
Get the app. Go to the meeting.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the podcast and the way it's laid out is so smooth and finally, my baby. My baby. But yeah, if you want to check out their hats too, hit me up. We have pink ones. I think the pink ones are cool. There's a pink one. It has white lettering. And then there's another pink one with baby blue lettering. Mm-hmm. I think those are going to be hit. And then I like the white with the silver or gray lettering. And then there's white with the black lettering. Mm-hmm. That's because I have a hat like that. And there's pictures of me in that hat on the internet of the earth somewhere. But everybody like that hat. And that's kind of what prompted me to
That's why I was surprised you didn't get very many of them.
I got 6 of them. Of
That's
the black.
not at all.
I gave one to
many.
Dave at Addiction Treatment Services.
Ah.
I gave him one because Justin came out and he wanted his assistant apparel because I guess I said he's my assistant now.
Oh.
And so he
What am I?
The office person, administrator lady or person job.
That's okay. I don't need
Manager.
any more titles. I'm good.
I'll give you a hat too, of course. But no, but he was the one that wanted the gray hat with the blue round logo. So
Okay.
that was cool.
Good.
So yeah, if you're interested in hats, whatever, hit us up. We'll send you some pictures, and they're not gonna be around long, unfortunately, because people like them.
Yep. And then we'll probably get the ones we really were waiting for someday.
Yeah, someday. But thanks again for listening, and hopefully this wasn't too terrible for you. No, we did talk about some things in recovery and some things that do happen. So appreciate you listening, and we'll talk to you on Tuesday, and of course the replay show tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So. All right, thanks for listening. 217recovery.com for more info. If you need resources, hit up the resources link. Blogs are on the website as well, 217recovery.com. Thanks, and we'll see you.
Night, everybody.
Stay sober.